Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Unfiltered Logic. Appreciate you riding with me on this journey to 1,000 subscribers. Every like, comment, and sub helps push this message further and helps this channel grow. If you're tired of political games and the media spin, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video because today we're breaking down what's really behind the government shutdown. Spoiler alert, it's not about helping Americans. It's about who refuses to stop spending your money.
Ain't no capping in my logic, this that real tall vibe. From the south where the grind don't die, we survive. Mind sharp, money right, truth be the topic. Welcome to the game, this unfiltered logic. Ain't no sugarcoating here, just truth in the topic. Speed facts, not feelings, that's unfiltered logic. Pain made the hustle.
Across this country, we've got millions of federal workers who have been showing up at the office every day without pay. This has drug on for a month now. Those federal workers have shown up for a month straight, not knowing when or if their next paycheck.
This is what every government shutdown looks like. A camera, a script, and somebody pretending they care. What they're not telling you is these shutdowns keep happening because the people in charge can't stop spending money. Every time conservatives call for cutting waste, Democrats in Congress dig in their heels. They want more funding, more programs, more control, even when the country is running a $2 trillion deficit. I've got family members that work in the federal government, so I've seen firsthand real people losing paychecks while politicians play power chess. This isn't leadership. This is financial recklessness, dressed up as compassion. If any business operated like this in Washington, it would have been bankrupt decades ago. But when the government overspends, they just print more money and blame the other side.
If their next paycheck will be delivered. They're doing their jobs and they're doing it valiantly, while the Senate Democrats simply refuse to do their job. Their most simple and basic responsibility is to keep the government in operation so that we can keep the services flowing to the American people.
And while the administration points fingers, here's what their bad budgeting actually looks like for everyday Americans. Check this out.
If a solution is not reached in Washington, D.C. or in the courts, this will be an emergency. It will be a crisis.
While we wait for an update in the courts on Monday, food banks across the valley are underscoring the need for people to step up now, as they can't meet the expected surge in demand on their own.
Listen, that right there tells you everything. Families who never needed help before are standing in food bank lines because the people running the country can't manage a budget. And let's be honest, reckless federal spending doesn't just cause shutdowns, it causes inflation. Prices at the grocery store are going to go up. Gas prices are going to go up, and the middle class paychecks just aren't going to stretch like they used to. Instead of cutting waste, Democrats are trying to print more money, push more social programs, and promise more aid we can't afford in the first place. Meanwhile, as local communities, churches, small businesses, and nonprofits to step up when Washington and the Democrats drop the ball. That's the real America. That's the conservative America. People who take care of each other without waiting on permission from DC. And while regular Americans are tightening their belts, politicians are using the courts to keep the spending faucet running.
They're going without pay.
And just this afternoon, federal judges ruled SNAP benefits for November must be funded by the Trump administration. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest from Washington.
Today, just hours before SNAP benefits were set to run out of money, a federal judge in Rhode Island ruled the Trump administration must use emergency funding to keep the food assistance program afloat. The judge in this case deciding the suspension of SNAP funding is arbitrary and likely to cause irreparable harm, ordering the USDA to distribute the money as soon as possible. In a similar but separate case, a judge in Massachusetts ruled it's unlawful to cut SNAP funding but didn't specify how to fund it. Some 42 million Americans from just about every state rely on SNAP benefits to help put food on the table. The lawsuit.
Now here's where the logic comes in. The government can't keep itself funded, but somehow the courts rule that spending has to keep flowing. On paper, that sounds compassionate, but in reality, it's the system that keeps people dependent. Democrats love to sell dependency as compassion, but the real compassion empowers people to stand on their own. When you keep handing out benefits with no plan to fix the economy, You're not helping families, you're trapping them. Every crisis becomes an excuse to spend more, regulate more, and grow the government, while working Americans foot the bill. It's time somebody said it. America doesn't need a bigger government. It needs better priorities, fiscal responsibility, accountability, leadership that understands that you can't spend your way out of debt. It's just not how the world works. It doesn't work in business and it doesn't work in government, as we can see.
Lawsuits follow an effort from Democrats demanding the USDA move money around.
The money's there, and Trump has said, don't spend a dime. We want to use hungry people as hostages.
The president today claimed Democrats are working against their own constituents.
When you're talking about SNAP, if you look, it's largely Democrats. They're hurting their own people.
The administration so far stands by its position that emergency funds can only protect SNAP through an act of Congress. It's unclear if they plan to appeal today's ruling. Caught in between SNAP recipients like Sandra Esquivel.
Yes, it's very helpful. I like to get the meat and the vegetables because that's the most important things.
It's one of several consequences of a government shutdown that has left hundreds of thousands of Americans without a paycheck as it stretches into its second month. The sticking point, whether to negotiate extending Obamacare subsidies set to expire at the end of this year.
Every shutdown ends the same way. Democrats declare victory for protecting programs, the debt rises higher, and taxpayers lose again. So look, y'all, at the end of the day, the government doesn't run America. We do. Washington's addiction to overspending is killing opportunity, crushing small business, and weakening the middle class. The real fix starts with discipline. Not emotion, not politics, but discipline. Anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget, I'm giving away a $200 Walmart gift card to one subscriber at the end of this month. Just like, comment, and drop your thoughts on how the shutdown is really affecting your area. And if you got a clip or a story you want me to react to, send it to my email below. Stay sharp, stay logical. This is Unfiltered Logic.
Ain't no capping in my logic, this that real talk vibe. From the south where the grind don't die, we survive. Mind sharp, money right, truth be the topic. Welcome to the game, this unfiltered logic. Ain't no sugarcoating here, just truth in the topic. Speed fast, not feelings, that's unfiltered logic. Pain made the hustle made profit. I learned from the struggle, now I profit off logic.